Vicki Sanders. Hey, is that you again? I recognized you from the last time. Come on into my kitchen. Today we're making strawberry swirls from my cookbook, but we're making it with a special twist with raspberries left over from my garden from last year. We just wanted to get those used up because now summertime's on. But this recipe, you can use strawberries, raspberries, blueberries. You can mix them all together and have a mixed berry. You can do different fruits. Get wild. Let's go ahead and show you what you'll need today for the recipe. The ingredients: graham crackers, butter, sugar, cream cheese, salt, eggs, fresh or frozen fruit, Cool Whip. We're going to make the first step is the crust, the graham cracker crust, and I normally kind of crush it up a little bit inside the package before I put it in my food processor. You can do this by hand if you'd like, but I like it in the food processor. It makes it very quick and easy. And we're going to pulverize that till we get evenly crumbly. That looks good. Now we're going to go ahead and just drop in the sugar. And the melted butter. See how easy that was? Now we're going to save a little bit for the top. So I'll put most of it in the bottom here and press it down evenly. I'll save a little bit for the top. This will remind me to put that onto the top at the very last, and then the rest can go right in there. In this concoction was 1 package of graham crackers, 6 tablespoons of melted butter, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. Doesn't have to be perfect, that's how they know it's homemade. Let's go ahead. We're going to put that into the oven at 375 for 8 to 10 minutes. We've just taken the graham cracker crust out of the oven and I put it into the freezer really quick while I'm doing the rest of this. I didn't want to put this concoction into my pan that was too hot, so I want that to cool down a little bit. So let's go ahead and get started on the rest of the recipe. We're going to start with 3 eggs and we're going to separate them. And we'll put our whites into one bowl. And our yolks into the other. Whites, egg whites that need to be beaten, do better at room temperature. So these have been sitting out to get to room temperature. Okay, we're going to go ahead, the first step to this recipe is to beat the egg white, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. When I was growing up, I didn't have electricity, so I had to do this by hand, whipping it with a little whisk. This is so much easier. We're done with the egg whites. You can see that they're beaten stiff. Now let's go ahead with the rest of the recipe. We're going to set these to to the side to the last step. Now we're going to dump in our egg yolks. And I'm going to beat that a little bit. Then I'm going to add in my 1 cup of sugar, pinch of salt, and I also have 1 8-ounce cream cheese, and that's been softened to room temperature. That'll make it easier to work with by hand. You could also, if you wanted to, use beaters, hand beater for this. That would mean more dishes. I'm lazy. We're going to beat that until smooth, until it's smooth and creamy. Makes you strong. Alright, we're going to go ahead and add now the fun stuff. We're going to add in 2 8-ounce tubs, or a total of 16 ounces of Cool Whip. We're going to add in our eggs at this point in time as well. And 1.5 to 2 cups of raspberries or strawberries or blueberries. I have drained these some, but we'll just kind of fold that in, kind of dump it in, and fold it all until it gets happy. Now to fold something in, I'm probably going to keep just gently coming up to the side, scooping down to the bottom, flipping it back up. Gently folding it in, because we kind of want those egg whites to hold in the Cool Whip, but we want everything until well blended. And I just kind of keep turning my bowl, using a good spatula to make sure that I get down. Just flipping it in. This is going to be so good. This is a perfect recipe for those hot summer days. You can make this ahead. This will keep for a month or two in the freezer. So just have it on hand. And for when company stops in and you pull this out and serve it to them, oh, they will think that you are fabulous and thoughtful and a good cook. I'm going to just keep stirring that in until it gets really well incorporated. There. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and get our thing from the freezer. Put in our concoction. Doesn't that look so good? We're going to put it into our pre-baked graham cracker crust. and spread that around, get it into our corners. And I kind of like to make some cool looking swirly gigs. I'll lick that later when you're not looking. Now we're going to sprinkle on the very little top the stuff that we had left over. How's that? Doesn't that look so good? Now we're going to cover it with foil and pop it in the freezer until it's frozen solid. Cut it into squares and really enjoy. Doesn't this look great? This is frozen and super great on a hot summer day. You've got to try this. Hey, thanks for coming today. I hope you enjoyed the raspberry swirl. I know I did. And here is the cookbook. You can get it on my website with the information following, and also you can message me on Facebook. And hope you enjoy the book. I know I have been. And thanks again for coming, and may God bless your table with good food, love, and laughter. Have an awesome day.